It all comes down to the self-talk. And I feel like if we break it down into steps, self-talk can be considered the way we program our brain, right? It's like imagine a computer. You program into the computer. If you program it all negative stuff, you're going to get a negative output. And similarly, if you program it all positive, you're going to get a more positive outcome. So our programming is what affects our beliefs. So when we start to program it and talk to ourselves, that will then turn into our beliefs, and that's our self-belief. And when we start to operate from that position of self-belief, that affects our attitude, right? How we approach our work.
Right.
Then when we go up with that attitude, that affects our feelings. So not only are we talking now, we're actually feeling what we're saying. And when we start to feel it, that will come out in our actions, right? When we turn our feelings into actions, that's what's going to get our results.
Right.
So when we rewind that tape, it all comes down to the self-talk. That's the foundation. That's what's going to either set us up for success or for failure. Let me use an example. Imagine, Izzy, imagine you're a DJ, right? And you're going to play the biggest gig of your life, the
Right.
biggest gig of your life. Now, let's think about the self-talk. Let's use an example where the DJ is programming their brain with negative self-talk. What's some things that they might say if they're being negative to themselves before a big gig?
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, am I good enough to do this? Am I like it? You know, like
Good.
who am I to just have this role in front of thousands?" Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so there you go. Am I good enough? I'm not good enough. This stage is too big for me. This is going to be a disaster. Oh my God, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be doing this. So that turns into your beliefs. So imagine you're the DJ. You start to believe that. You're climbing up the stairs to get onto the stage. You believe that this is going to be a failure. Your attitude then is what is crafted after your beliefs. So you start to get a little bit nervous. That might show up um, in anxious behavior. You might start sweating. You might start trembling. You might not be able to plug the USB in when you get to the decks. That's your feelings. You look at the crowd, you might feel like a lump in your throat, dry mouth now. Your actions are going to be determined by your feelings, right? So if you're feeling nervous, your actions are going to be a result of
Yeah,
that.
then you're like trembling and they're like,
Okay. And what's the outcome going to be?
it's just gonna be bad.
Going to be bad. And it all comes down to the self-talk.